Hello everyone. This video is going to provide some information on how to complete the assignment integrating sources and also talk a little bit about how the integrating sources all comes together when writing in your essays, okay? Or any actual academic writing that requires outside source material. So first, if you didn't review the paraphrase video, please make sure to do so that way you get a better understanding of this passage here. Essentially, I broke down what this passage is talking about and how you can identify some of the key points in a somewhat complicated passage, or at least one that's wordy and very specific to a journal such as this one, okay? So in this particular assignment, I'm asking you to generate a paragraph or add on to already existing paragraphs and then also integrate sourced information. So I'm asking you to take information from this paragraph and to integrate them into this passage here, okay? Now, depending on what I'm asking you to do, it's going to dictate how you're going to do it. So for example, I've asked you to provide support, okay, for statements below. Now, this is the passage here, okay, when it comes to productivity, okay, college students who wake up early in the morning are more likely to be proactive. Furthermore, those students who can balance their social time with their biological clocks are more likely to be proactive because there is sufficient sleep, whereas those that do not might be less likely to be proactive. As a result, being a morning person is beneficial to college students when it comes to productivity. Okay, so let's say you are making this argument, okay? Ultimately, you're making the argument that it is beneficial for college students to be morning people or to function earlier in the morning because that leads to essentially productivity, okay? Now, with that being said, if you're trying to support, right, a statement, that means that you're going to look at exhibits or potentially argument. Now, since you're supporting information, there's a good chance that it'll be proof that you're looking for. Where in this passage can you support this information, and which information do you need to support? So if you're saying when it comes to productivity, college students who wake up early in the morning are more likely to be proactive, well, people are probably going to want proof of that, right? You can also provide proof of the next sentence as well. So in this particular passage, you could potentially integrate that. Now, remember, as I indicated, you can use paraphrase or you can use direct quotation. So that would be up to you, essentially. Okay. So you could actually add on to here, potentially you can say, according to a study, right? Direct quotation, you can say something along the lines of, that morning people or early chronotypes as measured on the morningness eveningness continuum are more proactive. Okay, so let's fix this. Okay. So if we say when it comes to productivity, college students who wake up early in the morning are more likely to be proactive, okay? We're saying according to a study, so the parts where we have our signal phrase, right? So we have according to a study, so right away we're saying according to a study, and then that's our signal phrase. And then we have our direct quotation. This is the meat of it. And then we want to ensure that after that we would provide explanation. So furthermore, those students who can balance their social time, we can add to that, but we can also include a sentence or elements to the paragraph to assist. So we can explain this, which you would probably want to do. before adding, because this is going to need additional support as well, right? From up here or somewhere else for that matter. Okay. So you can also do a paraphrase if you wish, or whatever the case is, but essentially I'm asking you to incorporate, and again, this is demonstrating support for information. Now in the other, one, it's asking you to demonstrate your understanding and interpretation. So understanding and interpretation of source information is different, right, than trying to support it. So you'll need to use, once again, the information from up here. Okay. And so where would you add how you understand something and combine it with here? Okay. So, this could potentially happen where it says suggesting, additionally, or just suggest that morning people, you can paraphrase this. That might be a good example. And then finally here with about the social and biological time. So that's also, so you have essentially two main ideas, this and then this here, that could be interpreted and then integrated into the paragraph below. You would just need to determine where it would fit and why, right? So where would it be essential for you to do that? Okay. Now, again, there are many different ways you could do it, paraphrase, direct quotation, as long as you are incorporating the different ways that you can do it, right? So think about the hamburger approach. You'll need your signal phrase, okay? You'll need the meat of it, which is essentially your sourced material, okay? That's going to come from that text there. How much and why you're going to use it. So how much is going to be dependent on you. And then why is going to depend on how I'm asking. So either for support, okay, or to demonstrate interpretation. This is going to go back to the beam model like I showed you before, right? So how are you going to use it? Exhibits, evidence, support, and that's going to dictate how that's going to get integrated. And of course your analysis of it, so or commentary. Now it could potentially fit nicely within the paragraph, or you may need to add some stuff, but essentially that's how you need to determine. Okay, so remember, this isn't the only way. There are different ways. I'm going to be looking for both how you integrate it as well as the citations. Again, please make sure to reference those videos if you need to. You can make up the page number. Since the page number here is a couple of pages, you can just pretend that you know the page number for it. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I will be providing feedback on your assignments as well.